1 to 15 has to say about the ordeal. And God also saw that truly the report he had through the prayers of the saints is true. God had and God see. The plight, the afflictions is not only being known to the church, the ministers of God, the people of God, the elders, severally we've been there, but God, who sees everything, also saw the plight of that family. And God will hearken. God will take his step. God will act rightly concerning that situation. And it was this circumstance, the suffering of the people of Israel in the land of Egypt, that God saw, that God had, and God was prepared to do something about it. And so when Moses was pastoring the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, getting to the mount of Horeb, he saw a bush burning, but the grasses were not consumed. And he was marveled. It was special name. There are names that people bear when they are in schools. If people call me James, I know they are my school friends. But when they call me Shola, Adeshola, I know these are relations. These are family members. And when people call me Reverend Onikeku, these are people calling me because of my official capacity. God knows our name. That name that only your parent calls you. You may be walking on the street and God may want to address a situation in your life and God will call you by that name. You may be using someone to call that name. And you look and say, yes, it's you I'm talking. Yes. Are you talking to me? Yes, it's you. But I don't know you. You don't need to know me. God is sending me to you. It is God who sent that revealed that special name to that individual to call you. So what are you going through? When the situation was very, very becoming unbearable by the people of Israel, God heard, God saw, and God took steps. Concerning your situation, the Lord will do these three things. All your complaints, all things that you think you lack, God will hear. God know how you feel. God sees. God will see you. And he will not only hear, he will not only see, but he will also take steps to help you. And so God did these three things in the life of the people of Israel when they were in Egypt. And when you now look at verse 16, who is reading verse 16? Exodus chapter 3. We still go back to 1 Peter later, but let me. Thank you. The word elder appears for the first time in this passage because of the situation I've just explained. Go, you Moses, go, assemble summon, call, invite all the elders. You know, the people that were called are matured people. The people that were called were people that are versatile in understanding. The people that were called were people that were full of wisdom. People who have insight that are not too clear. These are the people that God summoned Moses to call. And so the responsibility in the church of God is not to be handled by people who are spiritual with understanding. It will amaze you when you read through the book of Judges. People that were called judge were leader, community leader, who have a very good understanding of the situation their people is going through. And that is why each of them, when they prove their worth, when they prove their values, when they prove their experience, they eventually become the leader of people for a duration of time. When you talk of others, you are not talking of people who cannot distinguish between right and left. The people are not fit in the leadership. People who will be narrow-minded are not fit in the leadership. But people who are broad at heart, people who will be able to show understanding, people who will be able to know why did this happen at so time. Okay, how can we tolerate what has happened? And how can we cleverly correct a erring brother or sister back to the fold? Not people who be controlled by emotions. People who elders. And God is looking for people who will stand in the gap, who will stand as elders for this church at this time. Will you be one? Can it be tell of you that you are a man full of wisdom? Can it be tell of you that you are a man full of maturity? Can it be said of you that you are a man who has insight into every matter, who could perhaps give reasons why this happened, and see what can be done to ameliorate the critical condition? The Lord is looking at you. And God wants to use you to accomplish His purpose.